take up the Warner Brothers Studios. You can also see the course of the Lakeside Golf Club and the distance of Santa Susana and San Gabriel Mountain Ranges. Make sure you see the Miami Vice Action Spectacular, featuring 50 incredible stunts in just 15 minutes. At Paramount and Universal Star Trek Adventure, over 25 volunteers star in an exciting videotape production.
Are off and running. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle. I'll be your studio guide today. Our driver's name is Gary, and on behalf of MCA, we'd both like to welcome you to Universal Studios Hollywood! Before we go too far, we do have a few safety rules for you to keep in mind. There's no smoking permitted. Please keep your arms and legs inside at all times and remain seated while the tram is in motion. Once again, for their safety, smaller children should be seated towards the center of the row, away from the tram gate. If you should drop something overboard or in case of an emergency, just reach overhead and give a tug on our emergency cord running down the center length of the tram. A little bell will sound and will stop for you as soon as it's safe to do so. During our tram ride today, you will encounter great creative illusions and live special effects, which may involve loud noises, sudden tram movements, and the possibility of getting wet. The exciting special effects you'll be experiencing today may be too intense for some young children, so be prepared. Today you'll not only see the world of movie making, you'll feel it. I hope you brought your cameras with you today. We're going to be providing you with some excellent picture-taking opportunities. Make sure your cameras are loaded with plenty of film, lens cap off. You may want to have your flashes handy. We will be going indoors as well as outdoors. Along the way, I'll be pointing out things on both sides of the tram. The driver's side, just to your left, and my side, just to your right. We're going to leave our front lot and take you off into the back lot where we do our outdoor filming, or what we like to call exteriors. On our back lot, we have over 500 facades. Facade is a French word meaning false front. So if you take a look at the buildings off on either side of the tram, you'd think they were made out of brick, stone, or concrete. But they're made out of wood, foam rubber, chicken wire, and fiberglass. This allows us to use our sets over and over and over again. We don't do much maintenance on our sets in between filmings. Our sets are dressed just before filming and then struck immediately afterwards. Off to the driver's side is our small brownstone community, where they just finished filming 20th Century Fox production of Home Alone 2, starring Macaulay Culkin, the sequel to the popular Home Alone. This time, Macaulay Culkin's character gets lost in the streets of New York City. So 20th Century Fox came out to our back lot to borrow some of our facades. In fact, right now we just happen to be on our New York street. But we can dress the street to become any large metropolitan city in any time in history, with a magic use of signs, props, greenery, and picture cars. In fact, it was dressed as old Chicago for the movie The Stain, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford. It was dressed as Chicago once again for the movie The Blues Brothers, starring John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. In fact, some of the climactic car chase scenes were filmed down this very street. Became Seattle for the movie Harry and the Hendersons, starring John Lithgow and Melinda Dillon. And it even was dressed as San Francisco, so Clint Eastwood could terrorize the streets of San Francisco as Dirty Harry for the Warner Brothers production of Dirty Harry. The large concrete building off to the driver's side is Soundstage 468, but we've nicknamed it Soundstage 747 because we have full-scale mock-ups of airplane interiors inside of that soundstage. So anytime you see a scene where actors are boarding an airplane, chances are it was shot inside of Soundstage 747. Such as Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger as twins for the movie Twins, Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin for the movie Midnight Run, even Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan for the movie When Harry Met Sally. Better get those cameras out. We're about to take that quick trip back to the future. Yes, we're entering Hill Valley from the Back to the Future film, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. The courthouse set off to the driver's side was dressed as the clock tower, and the climactic scenes where Christopher Lloyd tried to harness a bolt of lightning to propel Michael J. Fox's time machine DeLorean after reaching up to speeds of 88 miles per hour back to the future. All of our facilities facades are used to depict exterior neighborhood street scenes, but sometimes it does become necessary to build an entire neighborhood street scene inside of a soundstage where we have complete control over sound, lighting, and weather. That's just what we've done in a soundstage up ahead of us. You'll want to keep your cameras out. This set is pretty spectacular, and I've heard there's been some strange goings-on in here. How strange? Who knows?
Late word just in. Rapid destruction continues east, causing thousands to flee their homes. Police admit that they are powerless to stop the enraged beast. Military units are rushing to the scene. Beast was last sighted near the 200-block Old Fulton Avenue. We now go to live coverage on the scene with our helicopter reporter, Kelly King. Kelly.
We're now hovering above the wreckage of a crushed L train. The helicopter beside us is searching for... Wait! There's a tram load of people down there. We've got to go down and warn them. Attention, people on the tram. You are in danger. Repeat. No, I swear, I don't see it.
There he is. It's King Kong. Did you get a good whiff of that banana breath? That's enough to knock anyone out. You've just survived a confrontation with King Kong, one of the world's largest animated creatures. King Kong stands over 30 feet tall, weighs 13,000 pounds, 600 of which is just hair. Off to my side, you'll notice a very odd-shaped building. It's our underwater tank. We place our actors inside of the tank, fill it up with water, of course not enough to drown the actors. The film and the camera crew remains nice and around the outside, filming through little windows. On my side, it's our property graveyard. We never throw anything away. You never know when we'll use it again. The body of water off to my side just happens to be the Pacific Ocean! You don't seem to believe me, but it is the only Pacific Ocean that the McHale's Navy television series ever saw, starring Ernest Borgnine and Tim Conway. In fact, Ernest Borgnine just so happens to be the mayor of Universal City. Legend has it that the crew of McHale's Navy left some underwater mines and explosives in this area. Uh-oh, we found one of those mines. Keep your eyes out, we may see more. In fact, you never know what to expect. That's why before each and every tram ride, I like to stress camera readiness, so you won't miss taking a picture of whatever we happen to run it. Wait, what's going on here? Do I have egg on my face? What's going on? Wait, something behind me? I'm not gonna fall for that old trick. No, really, something behind me. Okay, I'll check it out. Whoa! I don't know what to tell you, but the road just washed away before our very eyes. It's gonna take a miracle to get across. Wait a minute, a miracle, that's it. Seems to me I can recall a 1956 Paramount picture called The Ten Commandments, where Charlton Heston as Moses commanded the waters to part. Here at Universal, we like to give our audience the chance to play Moses. On the count of 3, I want each and every one of you to say very loud and very clearly, part the waters. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, you did it, ladies and gentlemen. You've just created a modern-day miracle and parted the Red Sea. As we prepare to drive through the Red Sea, you might want to take up your personal belongings from the floor. You might get just a little bit wet. We need to have everyone sit all the way down in their seats for their safety. Keep your arms and legs inside at all times, but keep the cameras out to get a great sea-level picture. Back there in the second car with the video camera, you need to have you sit all the way down in your seat. Thank you. Uh-oh, watch out for those mines. There could be water around every corner. You never know what to expect. From the Red Sea to the South Sea, we've landed on the tropical isle of Bora Bora from the Tales of the Gold Monkey television series starring Stephen Collins. On the driver's side, the Monkey Bar Hotel. We've used this tropical isle setting for the television movies based on this TV series. We used our tropical isle setting for the television movies based on the Gilligan's Island TV series. From a tropical isle setting back to the days of ancient Rome. This is Spartacus Square from the motion picture Spartacus, which starred Kirk Douglas, Sir Laurence Olivier, and Tony Curtis. Square was dressed as ancient Rome again for the Mel Brooks comic classic, History of the World Part 1, a 20th Century Fox production. We've even filmed a movie musical in this area, Thoroughly Modern Millie. It starred Mary Tyler Moore, Julie Andrews, and Carol Channing as fabulous flappers from the 1920s. The buildings in this area are most often seen as foreign embassies and museums and motion pictures and television series. I hope you brought your passports with you today. We're about to take a quick trip to Europe, a little Europe. If the road starts to get, well, a bit bumpy, that's because we're going to travel over cobblestones. But they're not real cobblestones. We just pressed this cobblestone mold into the cement while it was still wet. A cobblestone street is one way to recreate a European location. By simply changing the languages in the sign, feature Little Europe into Germany from Adam X starring Lana Turner. France for the television miniseries Rich Man, Poor Man. Italy for an episode of Murder, She Wrote starring Angela Lansbury. And Pamplona, Spain, for the opening running of the ball sequences of the Billy Crystal film City Slickers, a Castle Rock production. Off to my side, we've reached one of the most historic sites on the back lot. This is the Court of Miracles. It was built back in 1919 for the Lon Chaney film The Miracle Man. Lon Chaney returned to the Court of Miracles in 1923 to become the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and in 1925 to become the Phantom of the Opera. In fact, many of our movie monsters made their debut at the Court of Miracles, including Frankenstein's monster, 1930s and the 1940s. Off to the driver's side, you make a giant telephone call, a featured prop from the Lily Tomlin movie, The Incredible Shrinking Woman. Say a quick hello to Paul Bunyan and his Blue Ox Babe from the John Candy film Look Right Outdoors. And the white jet seen in each week's opening credits of Quantum Leap, starring Scott Bakula and Dean Stockwell. We are in for a very special treat today. We've just gotten clearance to go inside of a soundstage used for recent filming. We call this a hot set. It's completely dressed and ready to go. The film crew isn't filming inside of here today, so they've graciously allowed us to drive through, take a look at the only 2-level soundstage in all of Hollywood. On the level above, our art decorators have recreated a San Francisco street scene. On the level we're driving through right now, you'll notice they've recreated a San Francisco subway station. On the driver's side, a subway train track, tunnel, maps, newspaper stands, advertisements, telephones. The film crew is currently up north doing some location. Nothing to worry about, just a slight tremor. We get them here all the time. The film crew is supposed to return to filming inside this soundstage on Tuesday. Uh-oh, other guy went inside back here in the street. What's going in? During the 1940s. You might wonder how we got Francis to talk. We placed peanut butter on the roof of his mouth. All the mule was doing was moving his lips trying to lick the peanut butter off. Then later the voice of Chill Wills was dubbed in as the voice of Francis. Used this same technique several years later for a talking horse named Mr. Ed. Uh-oh. Off the driver's side is a billboard welcoming us to Amity Island, the small town community that was terrorized by a great white shark and the blockbuster hit Jaws. Now, we have had some recent shark sightings in this area. We've posted no swimming and no fishing signs. Absolutely no one is supposed to be out there. Well, that's George, our fisherman in residence. He seems to come back time and time again. Despite our warnings, he just loves to fish. Oh, he's not alone. There's a fin up there in the middle of the water, and I don't think it's Flipper. George, you're not going to catch anything today. In fact, something might catch you. There's a shark in the water! Get out of the water, quick, there's a shark!
Oh no, help, help, help!
Bye-bye, George. We've been trying to catch that shark for days. We've attached our bait to that yellow buoy in the middle of the water. Let's watch, see if he takes the bait. He's taking the bait. Oh no, he's taking the fish! Please check to make sure the person sitting next to you is still there. You've just survived an attack from Jaws, the only shark that can do the backstroke. And check out the far end of the lake. You'll notice that George has magically resurfaced to go fishing yet again. We're leaving Amity Island and heading south of the border to little old Mexico. Oh, wait a minute, I almost forgot. When we were taking off from the studio center, I was informed that there's a 50-50 chance of rain in this area of the backlot today, so you might get just a little bit wet. Although I'm slightly confused about what they meant by 50-50 chance of rain. It's such an unusual half and half prediction. Anyway, this is the oldest part of our backlot. Wait a minute, look! It's raining off to the driver's side, but on my side it's still nice and dry. Maybe that's what they meant by a 50-50 chance of rain. Under these unusual circumstances, we could be in for a flash flood, but you don't think that would happen today, do you? Nah. Well, just in case, that keep your cameras aimed towards the top of the hill. Look out for the tree back there! You've just witnessed 3,000 gallons of water rushing down that hill. And the water will all rush right back up to the top of the hill. To create the rainfall, we've placed sprinklers in the tops of the trees and let the water flow down naturally. We've used this flash flood effect in the movie The River, starring Sissy Spacek and Mel Gibson. Our flash flood area was also seen as Bible Land in the movie Village Lives, starring Chevy Chase. Look at that tree over there. It's the only tree in the world that can replant itself. We call it Hollywood. Just through these archways, we've crossed through the heart of our old Mexico backland area, where Chevy Chase filmed Orion Pictures' Three Amigos with Steve Martin and Martin Short. Janet Jackson filmed her video Escapade here. You might also recognize this area from the television show Simon and Simon, which starred Gerald McCrane and Jameson Parker. Anytime the Simon brothers would leave their native San Diego to go to Mexico, all they had to do was wander off to the back lot. Yes, of course, sports, that is a real life horse, not a board cutout. Out of old Mexico and into the old West. We call this area 6 Points, Texas. There are 6 separate streets that meet in this central area. Now each street can be a complete western town with a bank, sheriff's office, hotel and saloon. So back during our silent western days, we were able to make 6 films at the same time. Miss Mona's Chicken Ranch isn't a facade, a false front, it's a practical set, which means we can film on the inside of the house as well as on the outside. And the backyard is often seen as Angela Lansbury's garden on Murder, She Wrote. We're going home, but not to your home, to the home of some of your favorite television shows and movies. I'm referring to all of these houses off to the driver's side. This first house on the corner is seen in National Lampoon's Animal House, and the scene where John Belushi took a ladder to try and get a peek at the sorority girls changing in the upstairs window. The Gray House was 1313 Mockingbird Lane for the original Munster series, starring Yvonne DiCarlo and Fred Gwynne. The Lavender House, the yellow trim for Doris Day and James Garner in their movie The Thrill of It All. In fact, Doris Day has lived in almost every single house in this neighborhood, and each time with a different husband. The Colonial Mansion was built back during the 1920s for the movie Uncle Tom's Cabin. Later became the sanitarium for the Jimmy Stewart classic film Harvey. We're passing through Anytown, USA. By simply changing the signs around, it was Mayfield for Wally and the Beav in the new Leave It to Beaver series, but it's most often dressed as Cabot Cove for Angela Lansbury on Murder, She Wrote, and anywhere Scott Bakula and Gene Stock will have to leap to in the television series Quantum Leap. From Anytown, USA to the suburbs, or I should say the burbs, because these last houses off to the driver's side were all seen in the Tom Hanks Carrie Fisher film The Burbs. The yellow house with the oval window was home to the Klopeks, the strange neighbors in that film. And the light gray house, the yellow trim, was Tom Hanks' house in that movie. It's also used in another Tom Hanks film, along with his co-star Dan Aykroyd. Dragnet was home for the character Connie Swale. For that movie, it was painted a bright pink. The Green House, the White Columns for the Nancy Mystery, starring Pamela Sue Martin. The White House with the dark green trim for Matlock, a Viacom production starring Andy Griffith. And the last house, the dark, decrepit brown house from the movie The House of Seven Gables, which starred Vincent Price. Vincent Price made his movie debut in a Universal film called The Tower of London. Up on my side, we've reached our final destination today. You guessed it, the Bates Motel. 12 rooms, 12 vacancies. You may check in, but you may never check out. The Bates Motel isn't a facade, a false front. It's not even a practical set like Miss Mona's Chicken Ranch. It's just a shell designed for exterior filming only. If you thought you saw blood rushing down the shower drain, wasn't real blood, wasn't even Max Factor movie blood. Movie blood on a black and white film would appear gray, so they substituted chocolate syrup. And that's what you saw oozing and goozing down the shower drain. If you want to learn more about the filming of the movie Psycho, check out The Magic of Alfred Hitchcock in the World of Cinemagic at the Studio Center. The giant backdrop at Man-Made Lake on my side built for our final Jaws film, The Revenge. This time it's personal. We needed a controlled environment to stage our exciting shark attack scenes, so by filming at just the precise angle, catching just the water in the sky, we were able to make our backdrop at Man-Made Lake look like the beautiful, sunny Bahamas. The actual location of... Wait a minute, I thought I told you we were all in the beautiful, sunny Bahamas. But magically we've transported ourselves to an elevation of 12,000 feet. There's snow on the ground. Uh-oh. The side road has been closed due to the earlier avalanches, means we have no choice but to enter the dreaded ice tunnel ahead. And we are in danger of another avalanche occurring. But maybe, just maybe, if we sit absolutely still and be very, very quiet, we'll escape unharmed. But I doubt it. You've just survived another innovative special effect. Nice, all of you. Chill to the left, chill to the right, but we never moved. The illusion of tilting was created by the ice tunnel walls themselves, but don't feel bad if it did get to you. The ice tunnel appeared in an episode of The $6 Million Man, which actor Lee Majors had to run through the tunnel chasing Bigfoot. We had to do this scene over several times because even Lee Majors couldn't get through without falling down. Maybe that's why his next television show is called The Fall Guy. Okay, no more corny jokes. Down below on my side is another view of the backlot which we've explored today, with our over 500 facades and the San Fernando Valley just beyond. It was just beyond that valley where much of Hollywood's most popular movie, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, was filmed. Would you believe that everything you've been looking at today used to be a chicken ranch? Universal Studios was founded back in 1915 by a man named Carl Laemmle. Originally from Bavaria, he came to America to seek his fame and fortune in the movies. Came out to California, bought a chicken ranch, and turned it into Universal Studios Hollywood on over 420 acres. And we've been busy making movies ever since. The black van with the red stripe on my side from the A-Team television series, which starred George Peppard, Dwight Schultz, Dirk Benedict, and Mr. T. We not only produce movies and television shows, but we stage exciting live concerts as well. On the driver's side, it's the artist's entrance to the Universal Amphitheater. It was built back in 1972 as an open-air theater, but we had closed it in 1982, so we could give concerts year-round, regardless of the weather.